Hey guys, what's up? No, Melissa, I don't sleep. The Wicked doesn't sleep. Now that everybody's left, I'm just kidding. Um, I really just jumped on here to do a very quick live. This is going to pertain to the red car in the Watts case. Now, if you don't know which red car I'm talking about, this video is not for you. So this is all started because, of course, I'm a nosy body and I'm on Facebook and in Facebook groups. And the question came about the red car and the Garcia connection and all that stuff with NK. Now, I myself have looked into this extensively, and this is also with the help of Theresa from Unmasked. One of these documents she gave me. So, with that being said, in the Watts case, there is a car that leaves Betty's driveway, or what looks to be Betty's driveway, and when the car leaves, it looks red. I will say that. I believe the car looks red. It doesn't look like a reflection of a light. It doesn't look like it's a white car with a red light on it. It looks red to me. Okay, there, I'll say it. But I guess a few blocks away, a day or two after the crime, they found that they found a car that was maroon in color, a 2000 Pontiac or 2002 Pontiac, and that that it was stripped, like somebody had robbed everything from inside. People thought it was suspicious because it had been parked there for a few days. So it looked like it was a part of the case. It's in discovery, and I have a piece pulled up right here from CDT's live about the red car. Her video about the red car. She basically pulled out all the information that they had in the discovery. So in this Facebook group today or yesterday, they're asking about the red car, and I say, hey, I have answers. I know what I'm talking about right here. Let me help you guys out. So they're like, all right, what's up? I said, well, first of all, this red car, it was not registered to an Irene Garcia, who would be NK's grandma. That's who people think the car was registered to. So the car that they found abandoned a few blocks away from the home, for some reason, YouTube grabbed the bag and ran with the fact that it belonged to an Irene Garcia. Now, with that being said, they then took the Irene Garcia thing to be Nichol Kessinger was a Garcia. So therefore, she was of Hispanic, like of Hispanic. Oops. And now I'm not negating that. I'm not negating at all that NK has Spanish roots, because her grandmother's legal name, before marrying her grandfather, Jackie Kessinger, her legal name was Irene Trujillo. So when she married Jackie Kessinger, she became Irene J. Irene J. Kessinger. When she divorced Jackie Kessinger, she then remarried Juan Garcia, and then she became Irene J. Garcia. So whoever is Garcia in NK's family, they're not directly related to her by blood. So just with that, I'll just say that. NK is not a Garcia, and I actually have their marriage certificate. And that's the part that I'm saying that Theresa helped me out with. So I do have their marriage certificate, but also I have CDT's video here. So in this video, CDT, very CDT-like, busts out all the information from discovery. And as you can see, the car that was a 2002 Pontiac has your VIN number right here, and it was registered to an Alberto Esparza. Now, whether or not this name can be linked back to an Irene Garcia, I don't know, and I don't care, because the fact of the matter is that YouTube has been running with the fact that this car belonged to an Irene Garcia. And as you can see here, it does not. And then, of course, there's always going to be the people like, with the cover up, they're going to cover it up in discovery. Like, oh my gosh, everything's a cover up. Like, it's not all that serious. There's no cover up. At least not in this case. I'm over hearing about the crystals and NK and stuff like that. And it's like, you really believe everything Cadel said? If it's not in a letter written from Chris, don't believe it. Everything else she just invented. How many people were in a live with her a few months ago, when she said, "Breaking news, NK's arrested. I just heard word." And then she just had it retracted because she was lying. And this is Sherilyn Cadle, the person who got Chris to confess. So I'm very thankful of her. But she also started a whole bunch of hogwash. The cult stuff. Now I'm not saying NK couldn't have been in a cult. She seems very culty. But most of the stuff that came with it, like the Gaia and the stones and the crystals and the crystal under the bed, that wasn't true. NK has one stone that she holds up when she was in Mogadishu, and that's about it. And then the necklace that she wore, and she was a geologist. But nowhere, anywhere, did Chris ever say any of this stuff. Did you read it in his handwriting? No. Everything else was invented by Cadle, and I promise you this. As soon as we found out Cadle was a liar, I thought to myself, thank goodness I don't ever have to hear about crystals again. But now it's a big part of the case. It was lying. They just lied until it became a true statement. So this isn't to bash anybody at all, but I will bring it up. So the person in the comment section, I started to say, like, this is how this is going to go. The car did not belong to Irene Garcia. Not just that, Garcia is not NK's last name. So I'm giving them facts. And then I said something to the effect of, then they give the reference of Larry. Make sure you go watch Larry's video. He found NK. He knows her last name. He tracked her back to the Garcias. And then I'm like, unfortunately, he was lying. Well, how do you know? You don't believe in the cover up? I'm like, no, you really believe that's NK in the parking lot? You really think he had her full name? I don't really think so, especially because he didn't even know this thing about the Garcia stuff. He's been plugging her with the Garcia family for I don't know how long. They are her stepfamily. Yes, I agree with that, but he didn't even know that. So how can you believe that he knows more if he can't even go down the family tree logically? And I really do say that kindly, but one of the reasons I got upset when me and Larry had our falling out was because I don't like that they're just pushing fake stories to fit their narrative. Whatever the narrative is, just don't push a fake story. This is a true crime case. These people were murdered in cold blood. And it's not something that you can just go and make stuff up about, because it's going to give you a live and 10 things to talk about. It's just really dumb. And they really think that people are going to not call them out anymore. Watts case died down. We can say whatever we want now. Well, no. I came onto the Watts case because I heard the way KK was talking about Shanann, and she knows that. And I was like, she's not going to get away with this. I will say all the facts that I know, and I know a lot. And, I'm not going to let them lie on her. I told Frankie the same thing. I said, as long as I'm on this case, I will defend your sister. And I'm not doing it to defend her blindly. I'm doing it because I follow the facts and I know a lot of this stuff. So, here we go. So in the comment section, I'm getting a whole lot of, you're just jealous and you don't know and all this stuff. And then finally, I'm like, I think you're just mad that I came through with facts, because here they are. So we're going to go through this real quick. So this is a video by CDT. I'm actually going to play the video that CDT did, but for now, this is just my little slideshow. This is the marriage certificate. Thank you, Unmasked. Theresa actually gave me this. This is the marriage certificate between Irene Trujillo and Jackie Kessinger, because the Kessingers are Kessingers, despite the fact that the obituary states that Dean and Dwayne are Juan Garcia's children. They are not. They are children to Jackie Kessinger, who is still alive, and Irene Trujillo, who is deceased. Also, Irene Trujillo was deceased before the murders. So that's one of the reasons I said it probably isn't her car, because it would have been unregistered, and it's clearly registered. So this is, if you pull up the VIN number right now on the Colorado VIN number search, on Colorado VIN number search, it's still a car. It's still a working car, and it is marked as not stolen. So whoever owned it found it, because it was abandoned for a moment. And then, I think that's the last one. Yes, that is the last one. Okay, so I showed you guys the marriage certificate. Oh, this is the full marriage certificate right here. And it shows where they got married. Oops. It shows where they got married. They got married in Denver. And when they got married, it was 1958. So I mean, how much more facts do you need than that? Just freaking old school marriage certificate. So here we go. This is their the part where they sign right here, and then it says the date right over April, and then right here it says 1958. You can't really see it that well. I can upload another one onto the Facebook group, but right here it says 58. To the left of my cursor, it says 5 and 8, and then this is in April. All right, you guys are probably tired of hearing me saying that over and over. We're going to watch CDT's video real quick, just so we can get the entire rundown. And after that, I am done. I just had to come on here because I can't stand the distractions and the falsies anymore. So Kalia says that she is moving house, and where are we gonna go? But what car was abandoned? So there was a red abandoned car a few blocks away from the Watts house, right after the murders. It was in Discovery, which you will see right now in CDT's video, and people, for some reason or another, caught on to this car, and then I don't know if they did an independent VIN search and then didn't look at the Discovery, because they are adamant that the car belonged to NK's grandma. I don't know how many times I've heard it. I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. So and so told me, so and so told me, don't you know it belonged to Irene Garcia? But it doesn't. I mean, it's in Discovery, and we all trust CDT. CDT wouldn't lie to us, and she wouldn't put out false information. And she thoroughly vets all of her information. So here we go. I'll be in chat. I'm sorry about that. I could have sworn I hit the share screen audio thing. I could have missed it though. And of course, I'm listening to myself because I was in chat. And I always do that. All right, here we go. Let me know if this is better.
Hello and welcome to the channel. In this video, we are going to be getting back into the Watts case discovery, and I'm going to be reading about a suspicious vehicle that was phoned in to the police department. And I will, read the report that the officer wrote from discovery, and then we'll also get into theory a little bit and why I found this particularly, interesting. So, as you can see, this post-it note from the discovery says, suspicious vehicle that registered back to Denver, maroon Pontiac Grand Am. And in the actual write up of the report, we're going to learn that it's a 2002 maroon Pontiac Grand Am, like you can see in these photos. Now, in Nate's security footage, when Chris Watts is standing in his neighbor's living room and he's going through the footage on his TV from his camera, we do see two red vehicles in that footage. So I zoomed in and circled those vehicles. It's very hard to make out their type, their model, and everything like that, but you can absolutely make out that they appear to be red or maroon in color. So, you
Let me try it like this.
getting into theory again, and I will. Now, in Nate's security footage, when Chris Watts is standing in his neighbor's living room and he's going through the footage on his TV from his camera, we do see two red vehicles in that footage. So I zoomed in and circled those vehicles. It's very hard to make out their type, their model, and everything like that, but you can absolutely make out that they appear to be red or maroon in color. So, getting into theory again, and I will link some videos below. There are numerous people who believe that on the security footage where, it's the morning of August 13th, Chris is loading his work truck. People believe that they see a red car in that footage. We do know that the neighbor, Betty, reported that she left to go to the gym that morning and saw Chris's, truck with the lights on. So some people think the only other lights in that footage are Betty. And then, of course, others think that there was a red car possibly parked on the gravel or coming up from the back of the street, things like that. So again, I'll link some videos where they do discuss the red car theory below. I'm not getting into what I believe on that. I'm just simply wanting to read this report to you guys from the Discovery. So, getting into that, let's go to the report. So this was August 15th. This was 2 days after Shanann and her daughters were reported missing. And let's see. Yeah, here's where it mentions that it was a 2002 Pontiac maroon passenger car. And of course, it has the VIN number, the license plate type, all that kind of information. So going down, I'm just going to read through the report. At approximately 0:38, a call came in from a Bradley Olson, who stated he had seen a maroon Pontiac Grand Am with the license, and he gives the plate number, which appeared to be abandoned on the side of the road in the 500 block of North 83rd Avenue. I responded to the scene, and Olson was still present. So I find that a little interesting that the caller, he didn't just, call in the car and say, I believe this is related to the Shanann Watts case, and drive off. He waited by the vehicle until the officer arrived. He stated he believed it was connected with the Shanann Watts case. Watts is a pregnant female who went missing from Firestone, Colorado, under the jurisdiction of the Frederick Police Department, and was last seen around 0200 hours on 8/13/18. I asked Olson why he believed it was in connection with that case, and he stated due to the time frame he believed it was connected. The vehicle had the driver's side window down and a flat tire on the rear passenger side. It also appeared the radio and stereo had been removed from the console. No keys were present. Olson went on to state that he works for AG TAC Security and currently works at Front Range Energy, which is an ethanol plant in Windsor. He works from approximately 0:00 hours to 0:800 hours, and had seen there was no vehicle there at approximately 11:45 hours on 8/12/18. He noted on his way home from work at approximately 0:800 hours on 8/13/18 the vehicle was there, and he had seen it several times since, as it appeared it had not been moved since he initially saw it on the morning of 8/13/18. So he's saying that he saw this vehicle for the first time on the Monday that Shanann and her girls went missing at around 8 a.m. and that he'd seen it I guess, he went to work probably Tuesday, and then that he saw it since then. So I did run the license plate, and it came back to Martina and Alberto Esparza. It registers to the address of, and then it gives the address, and was not reported stolen. I did request Denver Police Department go to that address because the address was in Denver, Colorado, and attempt to contact the registered owner to see if they knew where their vehicle was located. Officer Young with the Denver Police Department requested a phone call back from me through dispatch, and when I attempted to call 2 times, no voicemail box was set up, and I received a text asking if he could call me back later. So I think it's one of those you call, and then it's the automated um, no voicemail, and then sometimes I know when you call someone and they don't answer, an automated text comes through saying, can I call you back? So that's how I'm taking it happened. Um, Officer Young did contact me over the phone at approximately 10:54 hours on 8/15/18, stating he had went to the address and received no answer at the door. He had contacted neighbors as well, who stated they were unaware of who lived at that residence. Okay, again, this address is in Discovery. Anybody can go and look up the home. I'm not going to do it here, but I have looked it up, and I have looked at a street view, and there are several neighbors around that home. There are neighbors across the street and on one side of the home, and just like one street over there is even more neighbors. So it's a little strange to me that no one answered the door, and then they asked neighbors, do you know who lives here? And they said, we're unaware who lives at that residence. So that kind of sticks out to me. It's just a little odd, but maybe they kept to themselves and the neighbors just didn't know who they were. That could be all it is. I also spoke with Sergeant Albert from the Frederick Police Department due to the fact Olson believed it was connected. I did advise them, and Sergeant Albert told me nothing indicated any connection, and he did not recognize the name, and no vehicle was associated with their case. I asked him if he recognizes the reporting party's name of Bradley Olson, and he stated he believed he had seen it on caller ID earlier in the week. It was possible he had attempted to call in the car earlier. He requested a callback if I received any additional information, which led me to believe it was connected with their case. I then recontacted Olson over the phone and asked him if he had attempted to report the car earlier in the week. He stated he had not, and I was the first officer he had talked to about the vehicle. I did tag the vehicle with an orange abandoned tag dated to the time of this call. A copy of the Greeley Police Department unattended vehicle warning will be placed into miscellaneous documents under the case number. This report should be forwarded to the Frederick Police Department for their records if needed. Nothing further from this officer. So that is that. And again, I just think it's interesting that the caller works for security at an ethanol plant, and that when he called, he waited by the vehicle until the police arrived, and he stated that he believed it was connected to the Shanann Watts case. I don't really understand, what made him believe that, other than, when they asked, he said just because of the timing that it was there. So that all, just kind of makes me wonder where all that, came from. They never made contact with who owned that vehicle. And going back to the name Olson, remember how in that report, Sergeant Albert said, I recognize that name. Could he possibly have called in the car prior? And they said, no, this was his first time. But then going and looking in Discovery for the name Olson, we see that somebody called in a tip, if you will, who stated that someone named James Darnell Olson may be a lover of Shanann Watts, who also may have had links to the Zodiac Killer. So, and also that Olson may be the biological father of the children. So I'm wondering if Sergeant Albert maybe, had heard the tip about this James Olson and thought maybe Bradley Olson was connected to that. I don't know, but I'm wondering if that's why he had the name Olson on his radar. So again, let me know what you guys think in comments. Do you think that this means anything or means nothing? I'm very curious what you all think, and we will talk very soon. I just want to show you the 2002 maroon Pontiac again. And yeah, and like I said, I will link videos below talking about the red vehicle that people think that they see in the footage from that morning. And yeah, I hope you guys all are doing well, and we'll talk soon.
All right. So, of course, Kelly is always coming through with the super informative videos, and not just that, a video we can all trust. Honestly, if CDT put it out, I know that she took her time and did all the research and, you know, looked it all up. Oops. Okay, Kalaya, let's explain. Let me put my phone on the charger and let me link the other screen again. So, I was telling Kalaya that the reason I went live so late today and unexpectedly was because I'm crazy. But the other reason why is because somebody kind of came at me a little bit hard in Facebook earlier, and they were being really mean to me because I was spitting straight facts. She even called me a gaslighter. I was like, I'm sorry if I am diluting your uh, diluting your intellect, diluting your memory, but I'm only giving you facts, and that's your problem if it's messing with you that much. It's not that serious. But she was so mad. She was like insulting me, and I don't even watch your channel, but she like gave out specifics about me, and I'm like, I don't know who you are. She was a real person too, and I just really got to her. But I'm also not going to um, let people want to believe their theories so hardcore that they call people that are telling the truth liars. That's just stupid. You're not going to call me a liar, sweetheart. Um, And then later on, she came through. She said, if you would have read my message, I was talking about the red car coming out of the driveway. I was like, if you would have read the post is talking about the red car being a Garcia car. She was just trying to deflect towards the end because I came through with facts. And I am being petty right now. But here we go. I am going to pull up the small little snippets I did of the screen grabs that I have on my phone. One of them was given to me by Theresa from Unmasked, and it's quite amazing. I mean, up until this moment, nobody else has just straight up been like, here's a marriage certificate for NK's family. Like, we have big creators that people believe implicitly who don't even know these facts. Really, they don't even know that NK isn't a Garcia. They really just went with it and believed it and even based some of their entire theory around it. So go back and listen to some of your favorite YouTubers that follow the Watts case, and they will have made up a lie or two about this car and passed it off like they knew because somebody sent them a screenshot. But as you can see right here, crazy, what are you doing in here? Go to sleep. They did not drug test CWMR. I saw that recently. But no, he was not drug tested. It was too many days after the murder, anyhow. So this is the marriage certificate stating that Jackie Kessinger and Irene Trujillo got married. And then they were married in 1958. She then divorced Jackie Kessinger after having Dwayne and his brother Dean, who recently passed away. She then married Juan Garcia, who is still alive to this day, so is Jackie Kessinger, but Irene has passed away. Juan still lives in the duplex apartment complex that NK actually grew up in. So when people say like she was super wealthy, when she lived with her dad, she lived in a duplex. So there's that. I don't know, Masons had duplexes. Sorry, that's snarky. So this is from Kelly's live, and this is to prove that the car in Discovery with this VIN number is a 2002 Pontiac, and it is maroon. And this is the car that was found with the windows down. It was completely stripped, but they found it to be suspicious because it was in the area. People want to link it to the car that was leaving the home next to the Watts. But as you can see right over here, the car belonged to an Esparza Alberto. I don't know if they really just missed that. If somebody found an Esparza Alberto who was related to an Irene Garcia, which is actually a very common name, especially when I've looked up Irene Garcias in Colorado, there's a lot of them. So, Esparza Alberto is the name of the owner of the car. So, if ever you heard the car, the red car, belonged to NK's grandma, that is false because she had already passed away. Not just that, the car wasn't even registered to her. This is something that I pulled up today. I just want to make sure it's paused. And it wasn't. This is going to be something that I pulled up today just to make sure that the car is still available. So I pulled this up on, no, now I wanted to get big as I pulled it smaller, in Colorado. I don't know if you could see it, but it says the same VIN number that we were just looking up. And it says the status of the car is not stolen. In other words, it's still a car on the road today. They probably found it, fixed it back up, and then there it goes. I don't know why it's not letting me make my screen big, though. I showed it the first time. Did you guys see it? Crazy. You're supposed to be asleep. Don't be awake for this. You're overwatts. I have to prove this point. It drives me crazy that people will really just believe something that somebody's saying, like blindly just believe. And this isn't just for one person. This is for all the creators that are pushing it. It needs to do something about that hair. No, she didn't seem wealthy to me either. But yes. Okay, so this is going to be the conclusion of this live. I didn't mean to rile you guys up. This is what I just meant to do anyhow, just to come in here really quick and show that no, if you have ever heard that the car was a red car belonging to Irene Garcia, ask them for proof. Ask them for proof that Irene Garcia is the same Irene Garcia that you see right here, Irene J. Garcia. Ask them for proof that this car did not belong to an Alberto Esparza and that it belonged to an Irene Garcia. And then, if they try then to say, well, this is another car. Well, yeah, obviously there could have been two cars. But you guys were trying to say that this is the car and the abandoned car was linked to NK and all that stuff. But as you can see here, I'm not trying to back up NK, but it's not linked to her. So NK is fugly. But thank you guys for all being here. I'm really sorry for riling you guys up. I will be going live tomorrow. And so I hope to see you all then. Have a good night or a good morning. Be nice and be better and not bitter. I'll see you guys around, and I will be in chat after after party. Bye.